welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Schultz, and I am joined for this live post-game reaction show with my good buddy, Adam Emmert. Adam, our Seahawks finished in a 23-23 tie to start the preseason.
Yeah, and honestly, in some ways, it's like fitting, right? With people coming back to town and dramatic finish, and yet still a little unsatisfied. It all works out in the end, but an interesting game overall, Brandon. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about. Some really cool performances, some coaching stuff that I think that should get fans fired up. And I've already been drinking, dude. Like it was exciting, and I can't wait to talk a little bit about it.
You know, it's fun when you can get the regular season game butterflies in during a preseason game, because I genuinely wanted the team to win at the end of the game, and they had their opportunities, and then they had a moment to where it looked like they might actually lose the game, and they come up with a blocked field goal kick to close it out. And we've even got a live executive producer, Sam Gelber, coming in with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Sam.
Appreciate you as always, Sam. Awesome to have you with us here as we start another season together. Brandon, if you're looking back on this preseason game, is there anything in particular that stands out? Is there a theme? Is there something that like you really would want to bite into first?
Oh, well, I think the big takeaway for me was just the idea that, we got to see Geno Smith and the starters come out against our twos. Defensively, we shut down Ashton Genty. 3 carries for -1 yard. So I think the two things for me was the performance by the defense early, and then our Seahawks run game.
Yeah, the run game was impressive, and kind of schematically, first and foremost, I think that's really fun. So for me, it was the rookies had good days. Yeah, for the most part, that I think that's such an encouraging sign for this team, and we all have such high hopes for a lot of these guys coming in this year. And then I think it was a big day for Kubiak. I absolutely love what I saw early in the game. You got Ouzts out there laying the wood. You got Helani running for touchdowns. It was so much fun to watch them go out there and play smash mouth football and efficient football. That was what a breath of fresh air.
George Helani, 7 carries, 61 yards on the day. You had Wright out there late in the game with 34 yards on 7 carries. But yeah, George Helani, kind of the runner of the game with that early touchdown, and Robbie Ouzts laying the lead block. We've got a couple super chats who have come in as well. We've got Carly Perkins with a $4.99 super chat. Warm my heart seeing Pete back. So fitting about a tie. Milroe isn't starting this year, but God, is he fun to watch. We got to see one run by him where he got out, and there was a moment there where I think we were all a little worried that it might be coming back due to holding, but a nice fun run where you do get to see a little bit of those Jalen Milroe wheels.
You did, and it wasn't just on that one run. We saw him use his legs a couple times throughout his time out there, and I was hesitant to start with Milroe because I think that there's other rookies that I think showed out a little bit more, and that's not taking anything from Milroe's performance.
Sure.
I was very pleased with the way that he went out there and just calmly functioned within the offense. You didn't see any big uncorkers that made you real worried. You saw the one really nice tight window throw when they were down close to the red zone there on the boot, and a couple other nice solid throws. Would have loved to see that, buck 12, whatever it was, with 3 timeouts, starts out that drive nicely and then misses that corner route just barely. Like, that wasn't a big miss. Like, that's the thing I was talking about with accuracy with him.
Yeah.
There were games, don't get me wrong, back in Alabama where there was some big misses, but they were like confined to like these couple games. And then the rest of the games, when he did miss, it was small misses. And that's what you're after as you're trying to build up that confidence and accuracy. And then, takes the sack there on 3rd down, but you're playing with 3rd, 4th string linemen in front of you. Probably could have got the ball out faster, but overall, I'm pleased with what I saw out of Milroe.
Yeah, the one play I would really want to go back and watch is that 4th and 1 play to see what he saw down the field, if it was the tight end just breaking open and getting behind the defense that he thought he could threaded over the top there.
Yeah.
And if he really did have enough room to go ahead and put his head down and maybe run for the 1 yard to get the first down, he probably would have taken a hit. I know we won't want to see that in preseason, but I kind of do want to see it in preseason because keep a fourth down drive alive. You want the team to do what, act as though they were playing in a real game.
For sure. And I think besides that play, I mean, there may be a couple others. Again, I've been drinking beer all night and just having a good old time because it's the start of football and it's awesome. And I'm excited. But just seeing the Seahawks and their short yardage packages and how effective they were coming off the ball and playing physical football, I thought they were great down on the goal line and in their third and shorts for the most part. And what a breath of fresh air once again that is to see them go out there and just be physical and take it to the other team and be just a bully out there.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Shane Turner Acoustic coming in with the $7.99 Australian super chat. How good was that? Appreciate you guys so pumped for football, and that was a great look for the Seahawks. Also got Gambling Goat coming in with the super chat saying, at work, so I'll watch after. Thanks for the post-game shows, fellas. It was a fun time. Go Hawks. Appreciate the $4.99 Gambling Goat.
Absolutely, and look forward to seeing you when you're off of work. Hope it all goes well. Just a fun game overall, just because of the style that we saw out of the offense, and then the defense attacking early and playing downhill. You saw some pass rush, you saw a little coverage, you saw good tackling as a whole for a first preseason game. A lot to be happy with there. That Michael makes me crack up. Yeah, I wish it was on a course cam, Michael, but I had a red dot on my pistol work its way loose and pop off and strike back. So now I get this beauty mark. It's awesome. I love it. It's not embarrassing at all.
Not at all. It's fun when you have to be on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron F. coming in with a 12-12 super chat. Really like what we saw from Horton, a.k.a. Baby Jerry Rice. And Milroe looked good, just needs better weapons, the starters, or at least the twos. Now, that's something to think about, too. One, you have a little bit better offensive line blocking for you, maybe not giving up a free rusher late in the game. But how about Aaron here calling out Tory Horton? I think when we talk about rookies, this was a guy who stood out particularly because he was playing with guys like Drew Lock, and he looked like he could be a big factor for this season. Like we'd heard it in practice, but now we got to see it live.
We did. And I honestly, when we started talking about rookies, you went to Milroe. I wanted to start with Horton. I think he's the story of the game. And the fact that he had all these practices leading up, and even Coach Mike talking in the pressers about he goes out there and he's making plays every single day. And then to go out there and get separation in man-to-man, make that nice catch and break a tackle and get in the end zone. I really thought that Tory Horton showed out really well. And that's got to start making, Marquez and maybe even Cup feel a little nervous, just a little, because he looked darn good and it's exciting.
Definitely for Marquez. But, Tory Horton, 3 catches, 31 yards. He had the touchdown. And I think the impressive thing, or at least the thing that impressed me most about the touchdown, was that movement that he just had after catching the ball. It was so smooth and able to get into the end zone, catching it about 5 yards short of the end zone.
Absolutely. Moves after the catch, a la Jermaine Kearse in the Super Bowl, whirling dervish. Getting in there, that was fun. I just thought he had a tremendous effort. I'd also wanted to talk about Zabel out there early.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, especially in pass pro, looked really good. I mean, just locking guys up and doing his job. And that's exactly what you want, some stability there at the left guard position. It was super exciting to watch. I thought he had a heck of a day.
I tried focusing on him as much as I could. I had a hard time, though, when I noticed that Abe Lucas was also on the field, because I'm looking at going, oh, well, and he was getting matched up at least one time. Maxx Crosby was out there on the field. So I'm like, oh, I get to watch Abe Lucas go against Maxx Crosby. My focus is going off of Zabel, but the only negative play that I saw from Gray was like the very first snap where he got just blown up into the backfield. And but after that, I didn't see anything that concerned me, and that was probably my biggest concern coming into this game, especially if Vegas was going to go out there and put ones out on the offensive line, that it would make some of our guys who are playing as twos, because obviously Sundell out there is center too, that we'd be coming into this post game going, oh my gosh, we have big concerns about the offensive line, and I don't feel that way, fortunately.
I don't. I mean, honestly, even the backup players that were in there with Milroe, Cable Dew had the nice block on down near the red zone, like really sealed the edge. I thought guys on the offensive line as a whole played a lot better than what we've been accustomed to the last couple of years. And it's just preseason, and it's vanilla schemes, and you're not seeing all the ones and all that stuff. And it's the Raiders and all that. But look, we've seen so much bad. It's hard not to get excited for a little bit of good.
Sam asking the question, who won?
Kissing sisters.
We both won. Everybody won. We as fans got to watch a victory because we got to see a lot of fun football out there.
Yeah, football's back. That's a big dub right there.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, Shane Tuner Acoustic saying O-line was solid. Looking down some of the receivers too, Jake Bobo finished with 2 catches, 15 yards. Marshall Lang, 2 catches, 20 yards. Damian Martinez, 2 catches, 15 yards. How about Elijah Arroyo? I want that one catch along the sideline, and they called it out a little bit in the broadcast as Drew Lock was rolling to his left. It looked like Arroyo was well covered, and he was able to kind of fake that going upfield, come back to the ball, give a little bit of a window for an opening, and catch it on the sideline just to get some free yardage there.
Yep, nice job there, and got hooked up with on a slant, I think, where he was fairly wide open, but he had to get open. Had a couple nice catches. I think Arroyo had a very solid first welcome to the league type of game. It was cool to see Eamon Wari out there. He had the nice rundown in the backfield coming off the edge and making a nice tackle there. I'm sure that he'll get dinged for a couple false steps there as he kind of hesitated for a half tick. But then when he decided to go, I mean, he got right after it. I thought the defensive front as a whole held up pretty well against the Raiders run game. And it was a joy to watch. I mean, this is the type we've been talking about this for years, and Mike has been talking about it since he got here, how he wanted to get stronger in the trenches and build the spine of the team. And I think you see some of the bones of that here in preseason week 1.
Yeah, in terms of giving up run yardage, we didn't really see some big yards broken off until toward the end of the game. Dylan Lobb with a 24-yard run. He finished with 34 yards on 5 carries for the Raiders. Chris Collier had a 16-yard run, finished 9 carries, 42. So his average was up there near 5, but I felt like the defense on a whole held the run in check for the most part.
Yeah, I think it was solid. It was a great, solid outing. No big injuries, apparently. I mean, we didn't see anything. You never know until you get into next week, but just a lot of positive signs. And that was kind of a lot of my big takeaways, other than maybe a little more love for Ouzts out there at fullback and doing his thing, man. Like that was just, it was so awesome, man. And him getting out there and catching a catch.
Adam losing his mic a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he had a good showing.
Aaron F. saying, who was that running back playing toward the end of the game? Not Martinez. He looked fast and could offer something. I think you're thinking of Jacadia Wright. Yeah. And because he did look like he might be even a little bit more dynamic than Damian was. But
yeah,
George Holani, he looks like he has a hold of that third running back spot pretty solidly.
Yeah, based on the performance tonight, Martinez had a tough night. I'm not sure that he had the holes. No. I don't know that it worked out for him that way, but nothing that stood out. But Holani looked great, and both Tyus and Wright had some nice runs towards the end of the game there.
Linebacker 54 saying the announcers beat this horse dead and got a couple licks in after 2, but the culture was electric. Yeah, with all the celebrations by the defense on interceptions, and then you had players running onto the field, getting penalties. I think Field Goals pointed it out that it's just an annual tradition now after Darrell Taylor came on the field celebrating that. That's just what we do as Seahawks teams in the preseason now.
Yeah. I honestly didn't listen a lot to the announcers. We had it turned down pretty good. So I don't know exactly what they were talking about, but some sloppy penalties in there. You addressed a couple of them there, but again, preseason week 1, like whoop-de-doo. Pork adobo here. Bradford looks solid. So did Mike Mo. That was nice to see. Totally agree. Bradford went out there with the first unit and he seemed to hold his own, and it's a good start as he tries to solidify his grip on this job, because he does seem to be the front runner.
Carly Wright saying the Lynch nonsense throughout was the best. Seeing Marshawn Lynch on the sideline holding the camera against right next to one of my buddies too. I got to go back and get a screenshot. Gary Lotz.
Nice.
He was chatting up Marshawn, and when they showed it on TV, I sent him a text. I'm like, "Oh, Gary, is that you standing next to Marshawn?"
That's a lot of fun. Yeah, it was cool having him back in the building. I'm not sure how he got accredited as a photographer, but maybe his name is just Marshawn Lynch, and that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Although, when you think of, Ken Griffey Jr. is like a sports photographer now. Randy Johnson is a sports photographer. So maybe if you're just a Seattle sports legend, you get inducted into like the cameraman club.
Maybe. Hey, look, I know here on the Seahawkers podcast, you have 2 guys here that have served as professional photographers at some point in their life. And we are available for lessons. It's only $1,000 a minute. It's going to be the best experience you ever had.
Samuel Gelber saying our announcers were so fun. The Mike and Cliff show, or the Mikes and Cliff should do Monday Night Football. How is this just a preseason thing that we get treated to?
I don't know, man. I think there's probably liability issues there that they're worried about if they were to carry this into the regular season and give these guys that many cracks at the mic. I think something would slip out at some point. But no, great time. And I think it's a lot of fun.
We've got Michael Knight saying Cam Chancellor with a C. Are you talking about Cam Alexander with a K, or is there a Cam Chancellor with a C that I'm missing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe Cam Miller?
Yeah, well, there was a Cam on the Raiders side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 31.
Yeah.
Who's number 31?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Let us know, Michael.
Yeah. We'll have to check it out.
All right. Nate shoots in the chat. I saw some cameraman throw up an elbow against Helani. Didn't realize it until later on it was Marshawn. Yeah, well, Marshawn has to protect the camera. That's what was happening there. And the perfect ending for Coach PC, his official passing of the torch. We'd have been sad if we continued to blow them out after the half. Glad our 2s held up against their 1s early on. Very promising. I'd still want the win, Juan, but I guess because it's preseason, I can settle for it being a tie. A preseason tie, now having experienced this as a Seahawks fan, preseason tie doesn't feel quite the same as a regular season tie. Regular season tie feels a whole lot worse.
It sure does. This is easy to walk away from with some bright spots all the way around, seeing some progress in areas that we've been promised there will be progress this year. And if it ended in a tie and Pete can walk out with his head held high and Seahawks can walk out with their head held high, then pretty good night overall. I mean, Brandon, you once told me something that was pretty smart, and that's it's better to win than it is to lose. And it still would have been better to win, but not disappointed in the ending here.
Mike John saying Zabel had a great highlight against Crosby too.
Okay.
So have to go back and watch that because I must have missed that one.
Yeah, me too. Well, I had a buddy over, and so we were drinking beers and chatting as we were watching too. So it's hard to pay.
I had a hard time deciding who I was going to watch on any given play because, like I said, when I saw that Abe was out there, I wanted to watch a little Abe. But then also at receiver, I wanted to see what Tory Horton could do. And so it was like my brain could not decide where it wanted to focus at the start of any given play.
Yeah, it's tough. In fact, in preseasons past, I've had a really hard time coming on and talking about the games after because I would get to be like, I'm going to go watch this guy, and then I'm going to watch this guy. And it's like, no, just watch the game. And when guys stand out, then they stand out. And then when they don't, they don't. And then you just kind of go from there. And it takes a lot of pressure off and a lot of work out of the mix too. So
I feel sorry for the folks that had to watch and endure the Raiders broadcast team because, yes, I did hear that they were hyping up the Raiders. I can imagine the Jamal Adams hype was pretty spectacular after watching him, I don't know, make a couple tackles and seem pretty excited out there on the field. But good for him. He's back from injury, and that's nice.
A couple of nice plays, maybe linebacker at this stage in his career. He can get a year or two out of that and have a nice finish to his career. Rooting for him that way. Hopefully it works out. But I don't know that, if you listen to the Raiders broadcast, that you would think that this is actually a Super Bowl team, or if you just be, buying the hype at that point. But
Carly saying winning all the preseason games feels like bad luck to me, so I love a tie. And Michael Knight just saying Cam wore 31. Yes, Cam. I was confused because I was thinking we had Cams with the C out there versus Cam with the K. Cam wearing 31. So
yeah,
apologies.
Cam wore 31.
Yeah. I'm just yes, and Wright wearing 31 tonight. Looking awesome. There we go. It's on the offensive side.
Okay.
He's wearing 31. There we go. We closed the loop.
Too many cores to close that loop, Michael. Sorry. It's
Michael,
a me problem, not a you.
It's midnight here in Montana. We can't, unless it's a very straight line, we're not going to be able to follow.
No. Little loopy, little wired, little tired.
We got the Kansas City Chiefs coming up next week. That's going to be fun if we get to see some ones out there, especially if we're going to see the Mahomes out there. Will we? I don't know.
And if we see Mahomes, is he going to be fat Mahomes or regular Mahomes? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Carly saying, did I cover this already? I don't know if I did. Winning all the preseason games feels like bad luck, so I love a tie.
Works for me. And I'm pumped up after watching that, especially offensively, and knowing that I think that this team has really gotten to that core of what it needs to do and is not screwing around and making it happen. That was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. It's going to be something we'll be looking forward to more. Will this offensive identity be something that we continue to see throughout the preseason? Because if what we saw tonight is any indication of what we're going to see during the regular season, yes, we know it's vanilla, but it's the right kind of vanilla, I feel like, to establish an identity for the Seahawks offense.
That's right. I'll take 16-point halves all day. We get that throughout the season, playing that style of football with that kind of vanilla. Then we take the rocky road that is our defense. It just makes it tough on every single opposing offense out there. And after watching this game, Brandon, I don't know how you could come to any other conclusion than we're going to the Super Bowl.
We're obviously going to the Super Bowl. The more that we see this Mike Macdonald defense too. Now, I just got done hyping the offense a little bit and what we like to see. One play, the one interception that we got to see, it was the Nehemiah Pritchett interception.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention him. Yeah.
Where and the reason why I love that play so much is you started off at the snap, and it was on the left side of the defense. I think it was 33. He looked like he was bailing at the start, and I thought, oh, he just gave up where he was playing zone defense, and so I was worried that he made a mistake by jumping into zone a little bit too early. Turns out, no, he was faking, and he was the guy who ended up being the blitzer to put the pressure on Aiden O'Connell that then led to the interception by Pritchett. So I love that even in the preseason, Adam, we're getting a little Mike Macdonald flavor in this defense to where they're showing the quarterback something and then bringing something a little bit different, and we got to see it lead to a turnover.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe not Mike's fastball. Like I just because it's preseason week 1, right? Like,
right.
That sort of thing. But Nehemiah Pritchett, he had the pick, and he had a couple other nice PBUs as well. For a guy that's decidedly on the bubble, I think that tonight was a big night for him, and hats off to him.
Daniel Smith saying Kubiak raised the floor. Question is, what is our ceiling? What is our ceiling, Adam?
Oh, I thought I just made the proclamation that talks about our ceiling. I mean, realistically speaking, our ceiling, I think, is like an 11-win team in NFC Championship, like peak ceiling. Like, yeah. No, are we going to get there? long road to go. We'll see. But
I didn't want the serious ceiling. We've got our annual season expectation show coming up. So
yeah,
we'll get to where we feel like this team's ceiling could be. And I feel like we needed to see a little bit of the preseason before we start being able to really mold our season expectations.
Yeah, I need to see a little more Sam Darnold. And I mean, obviously we didn't see any tonight. We didn't even talk about Drew Lock hardly. And it was the full Drew Lock experience, right?
It was yeah, he got 12 throws or 12 completions out of 22. So, a little bit above 50%, 147 yards. We saw a touchdown. That was the Tory Horton. And we saw an interception, which...
A horrible one.
A horrible one.
And then there was a couple just dots that he threw as well. He had avoided a rusher and then hit an out, like a deep out, and got called back. Or no, dude didn't haul it in. And it was like, God, that was a perfect throw. And he had a couple times where he had great pocket presence, moved around, got to a second and third read, put it on the money, did that. And then he just has he had maybe 2 or 3 throws at one point where you're like, whoo, like including the pick. And I don't know, man. Why are we doing that?
Yes, the full Lock experience.
Oh, Vinny
L saying, y'all talking about it being late in Montana. It's almost 2 a.m. here, and I work tomorrow morning.
Oh, I hear you, man. Well, thank you for making the sacrifice of staying up and watching your Hawks and tuning in with us, man. I really do appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, Sam. Drew is probably going to be QB2. I don't foresee a battle. At least I don't hope we see a battle. That would mean that we don't see the best of Sam coming out here these next couple weeks.
Oh, I think they're talking about for the QB2 position. Is it between him and Milroe?
QB2 and Milroe. I don't know if we saw enough from Milroe to where we necessarily feel comfortable. Like I would rather roll with 3 QBs just to keep it safe. But I mean, if they had to, like, okay, if there was a package out there to where some other team is in quarterback, like a need for a quarterback, and you can get some picks, then I think, okay, let's roll with it. Let's see that battle.
So if the Saints call up and they're like,
yeah,
fifth?
like Shuck looks like he's terrible, or at
And
least
Rattler's
not ready
Rattler.
to start. Rattler's Rattler. A fifth? Yeah, well, considering what we got for a fifth with Tory Horton, give us all the 5th round picks.
yeah, why not? Look, I do think by week 3, there's at least a 50-50 shot that there's a legit competition at QB2. Just saying.
Okay. Plus, I want to see what's best for Drew. If Drew can go out there and be a QB1 on another team and see some playing time, I think that's better for his deal.
I don't know, man. I listened to his interview from this last week, and I don't know that I've ever seen a more content, happy, relaxed Drew Lock ever. It's great. I'm really happy for him.
Samuel Gelber saying, I want Milroe to start a game with the first 15 offensive plays scripted. That would be fun. I think that getting an idea of really what he can do, I don't know. Just based on what we saw, it felt like they were maybe holding back a little bit on really trying to ask him what they could have gotten from him in a game like this. Like, there was a couple nice intermediate throws.
Yeah.
But
keep it simple, stupid, stuff in his wheelhouse, some read option. Yeah.
Michael Knight also on the East Coast. Yeah, it's getting late here too, Michael. I think it's going to be a short one for us, but we wanted to come on and talk a little bit about this game because, Adam, football is back.
It's back, baby, and we saw some really fun positives tonight. I'm fired up, man. It's going to probably take about another 3 beers to go to bed. I don't know about you, man, but dude, this season's going to be a really cool experience. I feel it already.
Good morning from Germany, from Derek, getting up
Derek?
and getting to enjoy some preseason football. Really want to thank Carly Perkins, Shane Turner Acoustic. We got Gambling Goat who came in with a super chat, Samuel Gelber, Aaron F. Thanks for helping to produce the show. Aaron F. also a member for 3 months. Saw some nice things from the young guys. Feel hopeful for the year. Milroe looks good if he has better weapons like the starters. I think I read that, but I wasn't quite sure. So there I go again.
Hey, because it's still a good point. So good points never die.
More starting weapons. Let's see Milroe out there with the twos, just for fun. Let's see.
I tell you, I honestly think that corner route he missed on the 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
I think JSN comes up with that.
Yep.
I do. But either way.
Well, it's a tie. We finish with a tie. Our Seahawks tie Pete Carroll.
You're saying it wrong. The Seahawks continue to be undefeated in 2025, and arrow's pointing up, buddy.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.